What is the International Baccalaureates Programme? People with their differences can also be right. The International Baccalaureates aims to develop inquiring, knowledgeable, and caring young people who help to create a better, more peaceful world through intercultural understanding and respect. To this end, the organization works with schools, governments, and international organizations to develop challenging programs of international education and rigorous assessment. These programs encourage students across the world to become active, compassionate, and lifelong learners who understand that other people with their differences can also be right. How does the International Baccalaureates Program work to help students
The
prepare
IB
for
program
college?
creates well-rounded students, starting with how the individual thinks and learns. IB uses learner profile traits to expand upon a person's ability to learn. Students learn to identify their strengths and weaknesses by identifying as 3 or more of the traits and expanding on the others. For example, a student might identify as open-minded, risk-taker, and a thinker. These traits work well with each other in such a way that a student might receive an idea to go out and try something new. Said student would demonstrate open-mindedness by accepting the idea that was presented could be fun. They might then think about some of the safety aspects or what they might be required to do. This is where we receive the idea of a thinker. This student decides that he will be all right and decides to go out with said friend, allowing for us to see the first person as a risk taker. These are not the only profile traits that we want students to be able to use. We'd like to see students associate with all of the traits depending on the situation. To be able to associate with multiple profile traits, students learn lifelong skills that will help one be more prepared for college and even a career. Such skills include self-management, social etiquette, research, and communication.
Just for clarification, will you please explain what the other learner profile traits are?
Why, I'd love to. There are thinkers, inquirers, communicators, and risk takers, along with knowledgeable, principled, reflective, balanced, caring, and open-minded. These are what IB strives to teach students in order to best prepare them for the surrounding world. We are building students to learn from others and on their own in multiple mediums and keep engaged with the community around them and internationally knowledgeable.
What is the most beneficial about enrolling in the IB program?
Students are learning at a similar rigor to college programs, allowing for them to better enhance their time management skills and the ability to learn inside and outside of the classroom. These students learn how to analyze a situation and critique it to better understand what is going on, not just on the topic, but in the world around them as well.
What are students most grateful for once they have completed one or more courses in the IB program?
Oftentimes, students are emailing us in college and explain how grateful for being enrolled within the IB program. One student even said, "I am so appreciative of all the help I received during my last 2 years in IB. Most of all, my teachers were selfless with their time and resources." So the smaller class sizes is something students appreciate. They also appreciate the help that is received inside and outside of the classroom from teachers or students. A lot of them appreciate the college credits that are offered depending on their overall score in a particular class.
What is the thing students are most apprehensive about?
The IB program appears as too challenging for individuals, which often keeps them from enrolling within the program. Although it is challenging, students often do not understand that their schedule depends on the individual's abilities, so the level of difficulty depends on how many courses they choose to take. There is also a lot of help from staff and students to help the individual be successful. Although time management is one of the hardest things to learn, it is something that will stay with them for the rest of their life.
To what extent can a student participate in the IB program?
What a great question, and we get it all of the time. There are 2 options, IB full diploma program or IB certificate student. Both of these programs offer the same amount of rigor. One is more free will to a school schedule. First, I am going to explain the courses. All of the classes have internal and external assessments that are required by IB. Internal assessments are evaluated by the teacher, and randomly selected students from the class are sent out to an examiner, double-checking the teacher's assessment. External assessments are the finals. These are taken at the end of each course and are sent to an examiner. Both the teacher and the examiner grade students on a scale of 1 to 7. To be a certificate student, one can be enrolled in as few as 1 class or up to 5. These students only have to complete the internal and external assessment. Full diploma students must be enrolled in 6 classes, 1 class from each category: studies in language and literature, language acquisition, individuals and societies, sciences, mathematics, the arts, and core courses. A student also has to have 3 standard level classes and 3 higher level classes. The difference between standard level and higher level is the amount of time spent in the classroom. The core courses is the key difference between certificate and diploma students. The core courses include a theory of knowledge, extended essay, and creativity, action, and service, which is mostly external work for students.
Do these students take all 6 classes at once?
Students will only be required to take all 6 classes at once, 3rd trimester of the 11th grade year. Classes start and pause at different times to allow for students to have a bit of wiggle room in their schedules. This is what a year schedule might look like for a junior in the program. As you can see, 1st trimester would consist of pre-calculus, IB literature, IB physics or chemistry, IB history, world language, and an IB elective. 2nd trimester would have pre-calculus, IB lit, IB physics or chemistry, the elective, world language, and an IB elective. 3rd trimester is when all of the courses are there: IB math, IB literature, IB physics or chemistry, IB history, IB world language, and an IB elective. During their junior year, students will test and complete 1 full IB course. When starting their senior year, the schedule looks the same throughout the year: 1 elective and 5 IB courses. Although it is challenging, the students receive support from teachers and fellow peers. This means that students and staff are willing to help an individual succeed. One just has to ask.
How are students able to participate in extracurricular activities?
This comes back to the time management that was mentioned earlier. As known, students choose the extent that they participate in. A student is not expected to participate in the program, but it is much appreciated. Students are capable of managing several sports, clubs, and sometimes jobs. Although it can be difficult, students quickly learn how to manage their time in order to enjoy themselves, work, or participate in a club or sport.
How do colleges appreciate the IB program?
Every college views the program a little bit differently. Michigan State University believes that students who apply with IB credentials are mature, curious, and creative. Alma College awards 32 credits to students who earn the International Baccalaureate Diploma. If a student does not earn the diploma, they are awarded credit for receiving a 5 or higher on a higher level test exam. Colleges can give credit if a student meets the requirements of the college, but it is not always given at every college. Completing the IB diploma or attempting can be helpful for students who apply for honors college.